How's it going, everyone? How to Tech here. I'm going to show you why everyone has tech experience, in my opinion. Let's get started. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this gentleman right here. He took the internet by storm. And the reason for it is because he embodied the less is more approach. So, I'm going to put 5 screen setup versus just using a laptop. You don't need to go all out, get this fancy equipment just to get started in tech. You can start with the basics. I'm going to show you where. Now, there is a bit of ageism in tech, in my opinion. Sometimes people think that just because you're older doesn't mean you can't think of anything new or offer anything to the team, or you don't get by with the times. Part of the reason for that is because if you ever worked help desk and you get enough older folks trying to just hook up their Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, etc., asking you why stuff isn't working. I had one lady ask me one time, how does the internet work? I had to really think on my feet on that one and sum it up, make sure she could understand it and whatnot. But again, this isn't every part of the tech industry, but it's definitely in some departments. Just depends on what company you work at and what they have you doing and whatnot. But this is something you can put down on your resume. Using a smartphone, navigating applications, making calls, text messages, making sure that everything's set up the way you want it to be, audio jacks, charging. Also depends on what type of phone you have, but you can play around with the camera quite a bit. This is something you can put down on your resume. Familiar with this type of technology, restarted it, formatted it to the way you want. There's also something you can do whenever you get a new phone where you can transfer all your information, including text, contacts, I believe applications as well, over to the new phone. Just depends on what type of device it is and what you want to transfer over. There's also social media. Now, if you're like me, probably have some set up on your phone. Book of Faces. There's also Twitter, also known as X now. There's also Instagram. Make sure I got that. Let's see. Yelp. There's also different applications you could use on your smartphone. See that one right there. The leveler lets you know when things are level. Poster for your graphic design. iTunes Store, music, gaming applications. Not sure what that one is. I want to say it looks like an altitude or vocal range tester or something like that, but could be wrong. Anyway, these are things that you could use. Definitely put down on your resume. There's also online shopping, because when you log in, you have to input all your information. Address, cell phone, email, etc., card. And if you shop on Amazon, hopefully you don't have a significant other that suddenly decides to order something because it looked cool and it was 30% off. Now you have to explain why all these boxes are at the front door. Yes, you know who you are. I'm not judging, but it can get a little crazy at times. But Amazon isn't the only one that does it. Walmart, Sam's Club, Target, Meijer. Big brand names, they have a pickup option or deliver directly to your house. Need a little bit of tech to navigate that. Streaming services. These are your Netflixes, your Prime, Paramount, Disney Plus, Hulu. If you hook it up to your TV, you're gonna need a smart TV on that. I believe Roku's the go-to one for setting this up. But setting up those applications, logging in, make sure you have an internet connection so you can stream on your device. There's your tech experience. Basic email communication. This is probably something most people will have, whether it's work email, student email, regular email, personal email, business email, or the like. You have clearing out your spam folder, whitelisting certain emails, attaching a, let's say, a PDF file, Word, Excel, any kind of proposal, pictures, stuff like that. Tech experience. And if you've done any kind of basic troubleshooting, you're going to be familiar with the Control-Alt-Delete, because if you get the blue screen of death or anything like that, you do a force shutdown, or you have to figure out why it's running, your laptop or computer is running so slow, because I guess opening 20 different tabs on playing YouTube videos all at the same time is probably a bad idea. But that's basic troubleshooting you can put down on your resume. Also, application updates. when I say application, this could also include Windows. If you're like me, you probably ignore these upgrades or updates and whatnot just because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But every now and again, you'll get one that probably looks pretty serious, so you go ahead and do it. I can't remember how long it took me to convert over to Windows 11, and that's only because I had to, because I got a new mini PC and there was no option for it to come in with Windows 10, so I made it work. Also, voice assistants, and that means Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant with these fancy little boxes here. You say, Alexa, what's the weather like? Or Siri, what's traffic like in this area, etc. There's also gaming. So if you ever done any kind of online gaming, or I'd argue even regular gaming, because you have to physically hook up your console to the back of your TV, make sure it's coming through, hook up your controllers and whatnot, make sure it's connected to the Wi-Fi if you want to do any kind of online gaming, fucking COD, Halo, WoW, etc. Or play on Steam, stuff like that. Need a Wi-Fi connection. This one's a little on the nose, but texting with emojis, there's an argument to be made that that counts. Sending GIFs and whatnot, it's data communication. It'd be hard to articulate that in a resume, but definitely something you can put there. Also, public Wi-Fi. So, if you ever been to any kind of cafes, libraries, or I think actually most fast food places actually have their own Wi-Fi network. I'd have to double check just because I'm not there long enough to really be on it. But if you'd hooked up to them, that counts. Also another one right here. I didn't write it down, but this picture sums it up pretty well. So when we're talking smart devices, this could include televisions, light bulbs, light fixtures, digital clocks, cameras. Camera could be either wired or wireless, just depends on, you know, what company you go with. This would hook into your security application. All these could hook directly to your phone. This includes Bluetooth speakers or wired speakers. Even some appliances it could actually hook into your Wi-Fi network as well. Or fancier digital clock. All these be accessed from your phone. Like for example, going back to your cameras and whatnot, when you hook them up, they can actually act as a microphone too. One woman I was working with, she actually pulled it up on her phone and showed me where her sons were, making sure they're, you know, staying out of trouble. They're just chilling in their room, and she actually spoke into the microphone, said hi to them, and it's actually kind of cool. I got a kick out of it, but that's something you could put down on your resume as well if you set it up. Now going back to mobile banking, and when I say mobile banking, this could be, you know, any bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, another big one, JP Morgan Chase, I think that's another one, or in this case, a stock application. I don't know if you guys remember that whole GameStop craze where people were overbuying on one stock, and then it was the most wildest thing I've ever seen in my life. That was the worldwide coverage on it. There's Senate hearings over it for some reason. I didn't understand what the big deal was, but the gist of it is people were buying low, selling high, and that was the rate. I think the two applications were Robinhood and Webull. Those are the ones that folks were using. So I don't know if you can see it right there. There's the buy button, there's the sell button. You hook it up to your bank account or credit card or whatever you want to use it for. That counts as tech experience. And if we go down a little bit more, online forms. Now, again, it's kind of hard to put on a resume, but it still counts in my opinion, doing those CAPTCHA things to make sure you're still human. Do it so often that you start to question if you are a human or not, but that's a different discussion. Set up devices, the true bane of everyone's existence. And fucking printers, smart home devices to a point, but once you're hooked up, you're pretty much good. Printers are a bit more finicky because you have to calibrate them, make sure they have enough ink in them, make sure the drivers are installed. You have a ink printer, make sure it has the right cartridges. Apparently it's very picky when it comes to certain cartridges. There's also laser printers, making sure those cartridges are right. Content creation, so if you've ever done any kind of graphic design, photos, videos, stuff like that, shared them online, that counts. It actually helps you with your portfolio as well, because it proves that you know how to log in, create your own basic website showing off your photo collage, or just put it all on Instagram. That can count. There's also online maps. I have to go back to, I'll be closer down to there, but if you ever printed out your online map or had to download it just because you're not sure if you're gonna have cell service where you're going through on road trips and whatnot, that counts. Also password management, and a couple that I didn't write down here is multi-factor authentication. So if you see right there, I don't know if you can tell what that says, Apple account. They have a two-factor authentication, or it sends a code to your phone, type it in, make sure it's you. That's how you log in. There's also a couple applications you can do it on. Google Authenticator has one, Microsoft has one, another one called Authy, and LastPass, I believe, has two-factor setup. But again, it doesn't matter which one you use because it's tech experience. Another one that I wrote down right here are Microsoft Office Suite. So we're talking Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PDF files, so Adobe. If you ever had to edit a Word document, make a presentation, use some data, make a chart, pie graph, etc. That's tech experience, because then you have to put all those in an email, send it over to whoever you need to send it over to, or just bring it in, present your information. There's your tech experience. Now, going back to the online maps, the original AI, GPS. I don't know if you remember when you took a wrong turn and whatnot, and it had said rerouting, it takes you to a different route to get to your destination and hope that traffic isn't too bad. Gives you a approximate estimation on, let's see if you can read it right there. Approximate estimation on how long it'd take for you to get there, what time it'll be, etc. It's also basic cloud storages, so you don't have to go out and get a subscription to Azure or AWS. You can use Google Cloud Drive, Dropbox, and actually there's another one that I just started using as a cloud storage. That's Canva. And it kind of surprised me because when I was logged into it, I was on my mini PC and my laptop, and I noticed that I could stay logged in on both sides, and it recognized any changes I made on one computer versus the next and didn't give me any trouble. So that could also count as basic cloud storage. Also, video calls. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Zoom and Skype, especially these last few years. Go down here, you have to make sure your microphone's set up, otherwise people can't hear you. Make sure your camera's all good, otherwise people can't see you, or you can just go avatar. And make sure that you have a good Wi-Fi connection, otherwise you'll start glitching in and out. Same goes for those video games. But again, more than likely, most people have either one or all, or at least half of these, because try to be as thorough as I could with all these different experiences that you can put down. It just all depends on how you word them too on your resume. So obviously I wouldn't brag about using emojis and GIFs, but this is just to open your mind and say, hey, just because you're not certified or anything doesn't mean you don't have any tech experience, because believe it or not, we use these every day. You could argue that just driving to work, that's tech experience. You're driving a car, that's technology. But speaking of certs, if you're studying for your CompTIA, Net Plus, or Security Plus, go ahead and grab those in the description. Completely free, no charge. Hope it helps. Anyway, y'all take care.